Oh, hello everyone. I hope you're all well. It's Susie, Crypto Granny here. Hope you're being kind to yourself, looking after yourself, particularly in this COVID time. I'm in the Netherlands at the moment and they've just gone into a harder lockdown over Christmas. So we can only have 3 people for Christmas lunch. That's it. And it might even go more harder than that. So I hope you're all looking after yourself, being kind to yourself, being kind to your family and friends, being kind and loving to your beautiful pussycats, your beautiful dogs, whatever you have, and just being kind to people just to try and make this a better world. It's certainly a different world, that's for sure. I heard today that in the UK, people are starting to get their injections, so for COVID, but it's going to be sometime next year by the sounds of things. So it's certainly a changing world that we've had to go through this year. That's for a very, very unusual world. Now, the reason why I'm sitting here with this on and this, no, I'm not sitting in Australia where there's great weather and it's summer. I'm actually sitting in the Netherlands. It's really cold. The place has got a haze about it, which I've never seen before. They tell me that it's something to do with when it snows. You know, it gets really sort of cloudy and hazy and then it snows. Now, I've never seen snow before, but all I know is I'm really cold because probably the lowest I've been down to is about 3. So I'm not used to the wind factor or anything else like that. But not to worry, it's all very, very interesting to me. Now, I thought I'd do just a market cryptocurrency story today because I've been telling my clients to pretty much buy. Bitcoin broke down below 18,000. XRP got to about 49. There's some key levels that I'm looking to buy. I do believe this crypto market is in bull. I believe there is a massive shortage of Bitcoin. The retail traders are selling and the institutional traders are gobbling up Bitcoin and betting it down in their portfolios, never to be seen again. Just to give you an example, and I've said this before, Bitcoin has an average holding time of 3.8 years. So people don't even consider selling Bitcoin if they're institutional investors or portfolio investors like I am. A portfolio investment, I don't even look at it for 2 years or something at least. I have a portfolio minimum 2 to 5 years, and pretty much that's where the real wealth is made. It's not made buying and selling and trading in and out. Seriously, I don't believe that. And also you've got tax to consider. If you're a trading book, you're going to get charged 51 cents in the dollar. If you're a capital asset, holding book for over, 2 or 3 years, you're only going to charge in the Netherlands 1% tax rate, which is super, okay? Now, don't forget, I have been telling a lot of my clients about operational risk, really, really important. So many people have a lot of crypto and they have it all on one wallet. Like they might have $2,000 or $300,000 worth on one wallet, like a Ledger Nano S or a Ledger Nano X or a Tracer. And that sort of risk is just unbelievable. Here they are, they buy all this crypto, they spend all this money on crypto, whether it be $500,000 or $100,000, and they have it on one wallet, which is just diabolical. The thing is, if you put all your crypto on one wallet, you are running the risk of huge operational risk if something happens, right? And again, Ledger came out the other day, there's phishing scams on Ledger, you can lose your money, whatever. So you've got to distribute your crypto to other wallets to reduce your operational risk. Not only if the wallet doesn't work, but you don't want to have all your crypto on one wallet, right? We've heard of situations where a young man lost 16 million of Bitcoin, a drug dealer in Ireland had 50 million pounds of Bitcoin, and he had it on one wallet, and the cleaner threw out his secret words and his private keys, right? So, I'm saying to people, buy a Cobol wallet, buy a SecuX wallet, buy a, SafePal. SecuX is super. This, again, it's got great hardware. It's, SecuX W20. I've got a link under community. You get 20% off or 15% or something, 10%. With Claire, she's great. I don't get any commission on this. I don't take commission from anyone. I'm not an affiliate, but this is a really groovy wallet because you can actually store like over 1,000 different types of wallets, and it's got a color touchscreen and everything. This is so cool. So this is the SecuX cryptocurrency hard wallet. I've been selling this for a while. It's such a good story. I don't get an affiliate. I'm not, as I said, I don't get anything from this, but it's just a good wallet, man. And I don't want people to lose money having all their crypto on one wallet. If you've got 100,000 crypto and you say to me, Susie, I don't want to lose any more than $5,000 getting ripped off by someone, well then it's 100,000 divided by 5. That's 20 wallets. That's how many wallets you need, right? I'm feeding them about this. And you should have them in a safety deposit box off your premises, because in years to come, the crypto you're holding is going to be worth a lot of money, and there could be a tax inside your house for your crypto, right? If people know you've got crypto, it's worth a lot of money, and there's poverty increasing, and particularly if there's guns and this sort of thing. Okay, you've got to understand people do get hijacked for crypto, and home evasions happen and everything. So please look after your own personal risk, but your operational risk. It is massive in the cryptocurrency market, and no one ever talks about it, right? And it's huge, man. Huge. Operational risk in the cryptocurrency markets is 100,000 times more risky than fiat markets, right? And there are so many risks in cryptocurrency markets. If you don't know what you don't know, you just don't know. And that's why I say to people, come and join my Patreon. It's not expensive, right? We have Discord, we have Slack, we have Discord Live, we have Udemy. You can get an hour with me, depending on which tier you're on. You can get 3 hours with me. You can learn as much as you want to know. You can learn how to set up a proper investment portfolio with liquidity risk parameters, with liquidity risk parameters, volatility risk parameters, Sharpe ratios, everything. Learn to do it the professional way, the professional industry standard way, right? Because we have to become our own bankers and our own portfolio managers, and the people, we have to become our own, our own person, so that we can basically transpose ourselves into our own bankers and make money, right? So that's what we're looking to do, and become our own bankers and become really smart. Okay, and there's things like, arbitrage and everything, right? And people do mixing and all sorts of things, but there's so many things going on. There's so many things that people don't know that it just never ceases to amaze me. They spend millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands in cryptocurrency markets, and yet they don't want to get advice because they think they know everything. And at the bottom of the day, at the end of the day, they don't know jack shit. And that's perfectly, to be honest with you, right? Anyway, enough lecturing for me for a minute. I just hit my elbow. Oh, that hurt. When you hit your elbow, oh, wow, that really hurt. Just hit my elbow on the funny bone. Yo! Anyway, let's quickly look at the news and everything, guys and girls, because there's always something going on. And I look at this new, I just got this reference here because it's a really cool one. And it always has the top news going on, basically Bitcoin and what's happening and blah, blah, blah. Now we've got Facebook that call themselves DM, which I think is a really stupid name for a cryptocurrency. Plus it's going to be a stable coin, which I hate. Stable coins now have to go get regulatory approval from the SEC. They're not stable coins or index coins, right? And also it's going to be a bunch of currencies. So who wants to have an index against a fiat currencies, particularly when fiat currencies are going down, right? US yen got to 104.17 last night. It went through 103.95. It's going lower, right? If that goes lower, crypto is going to go higher. Now, MicroStrategy also wants to do a convertible note issue, private placement of debt to buy 400 million of Bitcoin, right? Now, we're seeing that with Square. We're seeing that with, PayPal. We're seeing it with other big companies as well, right? All the way, Grayscale, you name it. Jack Dorsey says it's just a smart decision. Why should we sit in US dollars when it's going down? It looks like absolute garbology. And I do believe US dollars against the yen is going to go through 100, right? That's a fact. Okay, and this Ray Dalio, who's another billionaire, says there is so much money coming into the crypto market, it's going to be a wall of money again. And any dip is the time to buy, and I agree with that, right? On the 15th of the month, you generally have bond issuance coupon payments get paid on the 15th of the month, and then a wall of money comes into the market again, right, from the fixed interest side. If you look at the corporate bond yield curves, the yields are not even the price of inflation, okay? Inflation adjusted, they're actually negative, right? So bond yield curves are actually negative when you adjust them for inflation. That's a scary thought. Why would you want to be in the bond curve, the corporate bond curve, when you've got a risk-adjusted price, risk-adjusted, which is important, plus it's less than the price of inflation. Not a good story, okay? Not a good story, that's for sure. And that's sort of scary when you do. So when we look at crypto markets, there's just so much going on, seriously, so much going on, right? When we look at Bitcoin, you know, it bounced off that 1774 area, 17774 area. We'll have a look at the technicals later. But look, you know, it's just, you know, the retail element is selling to the institutionals who are just going to put it into vaults and it's never going to come out again, right? And that's a fact, okay? You know, we should be playing it exactly the same as the institutionals, okay? If we look at what's happening with Ripple and XRP, there is a lot always going on with Ripple and XRP. You know, there's something I want to mention. Bittrex have talked about, you know, people being able to buy fractions of, you know, stocks like Facebook and what is it, Apple and what's the other one? Amazon, that sort of thing. And they're tokenized stocks, okay? And they're probably, you know, they're just pieces of a tokenized stock and they'll back to back it, but it's not real ownership of stock where you'll get a dividend and that sort of thing. It's a bit like a cash for difference contract. But the fact that Bittrex is a partner of Ripple's and it's ODL, on-demand deposits and liquidity, it's a great story for Ripple's XRP because it's going to give them much more utility, okay? So that's a really good story in itself. Also, SBI in Japan, which is a big Japanese bank, which, you know, what is it, Kiyota, I can't pronounce his name properly, the CEO, Yoshikashi Kiyota, is a big, heavy supporter of Ripple, and he sits on the directors of Ripple, right? And now they're doing something with the Swiss operation, and they're going into Singapore to open up some exchanges in Singapore where they'll be trading cryptocurrency and acting as a custodian, which is great. And that's great for Ripple again, more utility for XRP. Now, SBI is a huge supporter of Ripple. And, you know, they do a lot with the Mitsubishi Bank in Japan, but also there's a consortium of about 80 or 100 banks in Japan, and they're all going to use XRP. And there was one yesterday. And what was it called? It was called a funny name, which I've got to read because I can't remember it. It was a Japanese bank, and they're also doing something with XRP as well. It was called Agaki Kiyotaki Bank, and they've agreed to connect with SBI Financial, and they're adopting what MoneyTap is using with Ripple, and that's going to be again 10 regional banks, which is just super. And again, Ripple also have got a new client called Navati Group, which is an Australian operation where they want to do real-time remittance from Australia to Asia, okay? And they've got about 200 odd clients, right? And they integrate with Google Pay and Samsung, right, which has 300 million different types of clients. You know, it just goes on and on and on. Seriously, Ripple is incredible and it never stops, you know, what Ripple are doing. I mean, even Standard Chartered, you know, Ripple has something to do with them, is thinking about launching their own cryptocurrency exchange, okay? So there's more and more utility. Every time we talk about XRP, there's more and more utility, which is great for the coin, and it means that people are going to bed down the coin more and more and more, right? So it just doesn't stop when we read about XRP, honestly. And then there's been this story about, you know, potentially if they were going to delete or get rid of 50 billion of XRP. As David Schwartz said, people could do that. You know, people that own it, they could force Ripple to do that and get rid of 50 billion of XRP. If they did that, again, the thing would go through the roof because there'd be no supply, okay? And that's the biggest thing, right? You know, other people do burn their own coin, and they also, you know, buy it back, like we've seen with Nexo, that it's bought back 15 million of their own coin because they actually believe that Nexo itself is very underpriced. Now, I got people into that coin, you know, in the early 18s or something. You know, I had it in my portfolio since I was 15, but I do think it's a great story because, you know, it's got staking, everything. It's very cheap when we compare it to its peers of Celsius and everything else. It's a great story. So there are just so many opportunities in this market, I have to say, and it just makes me excited every day, for sure. Now, if I look at other things that are happening today, just in terms of what's going on. I mean, even Wells Fargo, who basically has ignored Bitcoin for years and years and years, had to literally, fall on their sword and say that now they've had to basically, accept the fact that clients want cryptocurrency. They used to close down clients' accounts and everything because they wanted to do cryptocurrency. But even they've said, oh, look, people want to do more and more cryptocurrency, right? Also, you've got Northern Trust and Standard Chartered, which are going to do custodian and cryptocurrency services as well, right? So it just is not stopping. There is more usability of cryptocurrency right across the board. Also, Spain's second largest bank, BBVA, which is also a client of Ripple's, is also going to set up a crypto trading and custody platform, and those guys are going to do that within two months, right? So again, we have more usability. They'll obviously use XRP as well, and it's just an incredible story. It just goes on and on and on. Feed income, it really does. And this SBI Holdings, big promoter of XRP, this Yoshitaka Kitato, it's just huge, right? And this thing in Singapore is going to be huge because it'll be approved by the monetary authority over there in Singapore. And also ages ago, Ripple and Bernard's got a free license pass to operate in Singapore. So it's going to be the Asian hub for sure. So look, I'm ultra bullish cryptocurrency. Any pullback in very specific cryptocurrency, I just love, okay? So let's get the most read story here very quickly. Look, Bitcoin, this rally will last. I don't believe the headlines at all. There's no supply, okay? 18.5 million of Bitcoin have already been mined, okay? 18.5 million. 3 million have been lost, we know that, and there's only 21 million, right? And if every bloody institution starts buying Bitcoin over and above a falling US dollar, it's just a no-brainer. I have a valuation on Bitcoin in the next year of 54,000 as a minimum, right? Some of these big institutional guys have a valuation of anything from 200,000 to 500,000 to a million. Maybe they're calling their own book, but I do believe if you get somewhere near there, if they're half right, okay? So there's just so much going on, right? So much going on, and I'm a believer, right? So what else is here of interest? Anything at all? Not a lot of stuff coming out today, but still there are lots of people taking up and going into cryptocurrency, okay? And, I think it's interesting. And look, Citigroup have just downgraded MicroStrategy because, they're going into crypto. I mean, Citigroup are pretty weak when it comes to crypto, that's for sure. I mean, I used to work for them, but honestly. Also, the Spark launch is doing pretty well from what I can see. At least half's been taken up from what I can see. And that's going to finish on the 12th to 12th. Don't forget Cardano's got something coming out on the 10th of the 12th. Something to do with the integration potentially of Litecoin, but also they're going into DeFi and smart contracts and all sorts of things. So there's some exciting stuff happening there with Cardano as well. There's always great stuff happening, okay? Always great stuff happening. That's for sure. So let's just quickly have a look at where live crypto is at the moment and just check it out. And, I had one client that was lucky enough to buy crypto, to buy Bitcoin, as I told him, below 18,000, which was a great story. And, Bitcoin, XRP, I said, if you can get it below 50, that's even a better story. So we've seen those things go up, which is really good. It's just, to me, it's a buy day. There's no doubt about it, right? If we look at Bitcoin dominance, it's still around 62.11. Liquidity is lower than normal, 1.291 billion. Volume is, 0.051 billion. And the market cap is around 548 billion, okay? Now, when we saw 2017, the market cap was well over 930 bill, okay? So this market has gone nowhere near the market cap of 2017, okay? So I am ultra bullish. Any pullback in this cryptocurrency market, you just buy it with your ears pinned back. Seriously, we are nowhere near the lofty heights of a market cap, in 2017, and we know there are much more players in the market now. Many institutionals coming into this market, and it's only a matter of time. They buy Bitcoin first. They realize that Bitcoin can take up to 48 hours to basically settle. They will then go the next leg, which some of them go to Ethereum, like you're seeing with, Paul, the guy, the big hedge fund manager, Paul Tudor Jones. He's talking about Ethereum now. And then the next step is they'll go to XRP, the ones that aren't in the know. It's just an obvious. XRP is the best cryptocurrency coin out there. And the market doesn't know how to value it. The market is young. It doesn't have a lot of players. People don't know how to value XRP. But as I said to you, my second valuation with 3 different valuation models, I have XRP per unit around $1,200 per unit, okay? It is just as simple as that, right? They have the business, they have the flows, they have millions and millions and millions of clients that are paying them money. They have the velocity of turnover. It just keeps going and going and going. Even a big financial advisor type said that XRP is the most undervalued cryptocurrency out there, and just by virtue of burn and velocity, turnover and velocity, the cryptocurrency itself would go up, which I agree with. It is a terrific story, okay? There is no doubt in my mind about that. Now, if I look at, if I go to all assets on Messari, and I do like Messari, I have to say, we've got reported cap, and I like to look at reported volume, I should say, because supposedly this is, more true than anything else. I do not like US Tether, as you know, because it's supposed to be a stable coin against US dollars. It's supposed to be 1-for-1 against US dollar. Tether is issued by Tether Inc., okay, a company, and they do not buy one US dollar for 1 US Tether. From what I can see, they haven't been audited properly, and it looks like it's 73 cents to $1, but then there's other issues as well. So I do not believe US Tether is equivalent to US dollars, and you shouldn't either. Any stable coin is an index coin against something. It's an index coin against something like a ratio. If the underlying ratio is going to zero, so is the stable coin. That's worth zero as well. Now, don't forget the Security Exchange Commission has now made it illegal. You cannot issue stable coins without getting a license from the Security Exchange Commission, okay, and the OCC, right, which I think is important. Now, if you look at the volume in the market at the moment, Tether's at 6.41 bill, Bitcoin's at 4.15 bill, Ethereum's at 1.85 bill, and XRP's at 1.23 bill. Now, when the market's been really full on bull, I've seen Tether at 12 bill, I've seen Bitcoin at 9 bill, I've seen Ethereum at 6 bill, and I've seen XRP at maybe 5 bill or something like that. The market in my mind is still full bull, and it still looks very good. Now, I have a lot of clients that invest in a lot of garbology, and there goes my bloody camera again. And, I'm trying to get them to invest in proper things. And the first thing I say to them is, you're investing maybe in these DeFis, which I don't like, and you're investing in other coins, which you're being told about by the YouTubers and everything else. And I've gone, who are the YouTubers? Do they have the background, whatever? And half the time they don't. That's a fact, right? I'm not saying about, any names or anything. But the first thing I say to them is, look at the coin or the token that you're in. Has it outperformed against the US dollar as a minimum? If you're sitting in a crypto and it hasn't even outperformed the US dollar, you might as well be sitting in US dollars, okay? And I don't like US dollars. So if I, pull up something and, you're sitting in a cryptocurrency and, it's not even performing against US dollars, fair income. I mean, that's just, if you go into Messari, which I love Messari, right? It's a great story. And I pay for this. If you go to Messari, or even if you go into liquidity, live coin, and if you go, has it performed against US dollars? Well, you look at this for the last week, it underperformed. If you look at it from the last 90 days, this is algo, it underperformed, right? So the fact is, if you're sitting in something short term and it's not even outperforming the US dollars, that is not a great cryptocurrency story, right? Particularly when the risk in cryptocurrency is a lot higher than the US dollar, right? And I've done calcs on this. I know what the Sharpe ratio is for the US dollar, and I know what the Sharpe ratio is for the crypto market, right? And, that is not a great story, right, at all. If you look here, the negative Sharpe ratio, which means the amount of risk you're taking on for the return is really bad. You're not being compensated by the amount of risk. That's why risk-adjusted returns are so important, okay? So as I said to you, if you're sitting in a coin or a token that's not even returning the US dollar return, it's just a waste of time, right? You want to be seeing a coin or token over a year or 90 days or whatever that's at least generating US dollar returns and better and is outperforming Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. Now, if it's not, it's a waste of time, okay? And that's a fact because you're just wasting your money and wasting your time. Also, a lot of things that people don't see is what exchanges are some of these on. People buy these DeFis and they're sitting on one exchange. It doesn't make sense to me, right? If that exchange goes down, you're absolutely gone, okay? Now we go, that's a fact. You can only get pricing off. We go to this sushi swap thing, whatever it was, and there was, all the money got sucked out and everything else. The founder stole money and then he put it back and then the coin went from $12 down to $2 and the volatility is something chronic, right? There's no cap supply, right, on sushi swap, right? It means that they can come to the market with more and more supply. These are some of the risks, right? If you don't know what you don't know, you don't know, right? So they can issue more and more, right? If you go to where the exchange is sitting, where's the exchange? How many exchanges is Sushi Swap on, right? Luckily for it, it's on a lot. But some coins are on one exchange like Uniswap or Probit or one other unknown crypto exchange. And the point is, if that exchange goes down and you've got one coin on that exchange, right, you're not going to be able to get price transparency. You can't get a market for it. I think it was BitO or something like that, some stupid coin like that, right? It means that you're not going to be able to get out of it and you're not going to be able to get price transparency, right? And that's a real danger in itself, okay? What was this thing called? It's called something like that. But anyway, look, you get the general idea, right? And that's what I call high operational risk as well. Things where you've got everything sitting on a small exchange or you're buying coins from a small exchange or a token from an exchange of only one exchange, and that exchange is undercapitalized and goes down, your coin or token's history. And there's 9,000 exchanges out there and you're toasted, baby. You're completely toasted, okay? Also, some of these exchanges that say they're decentralized are not decentralized. It's garbology. And some of them don't have any liquidity, right? So the story goes on and the operational risk gets higher and higher and higher. Okay, so you get my drift, right? Anyway, that's all I want to say about that. If we go to what else I want to look at today is basically, if we go to this other social thing, it tells us basically, Lunar Crush tells us what's going on, some of the good news and whatever. But it also tells us what's going up because of social, okay? So if we go in here, what's being talked about the most today is Elrond, Theatre Token, Frontier, Fuel Injective Protocol, Stellar, XRT, and it goes on. And a lot of these are actually DeFis. And as I said, in DeFi land over the month, there's been about 6 or 7 hacks of DeFi. The security for DeFi is absolute garbology, right? Garbology. And I wouldn't touch it with a pole, okay? And that's fair income. I wouldn't touch it with a pole. And there's other things I look at too, right? And, all my clients learn this stuff. This one here I love. And this basically gives me alerts for trading and stuff like that. So if I go into single summary, right, it tells me what's bullish and what's bearish, and I click on that for momentum in a bullish market. And it gives me basically, it'll give me, things out of 10 if they're really bullish. If they're not bullish, basically 1 out of 10. So if I go up like that and I get all the 10 out of 10s, it tells me what looks good and what's breaking out, okay? So in other words, you can tell what's breaking out if you know anything about these cryptocurrencies. Now, again, because I manage a portfolio, I need to know, an investment portfolio, I need to do a proper review of these cryptocurrencies. So if something's breaking out and it's telling me it's a strong up 10 out of 10 and I don't know it, I'll have to do a proper review on the cryptocurrency to make sure that it's something that is in a technology space that's going to do very well by the technology of cryptocurrency. So, for example, cryptocurrency is going to do incredible things in the payment system. It's going to do incredible things in the identification system. It's going to do incredible things in terms of voting. You know, there's incredible things. The technology is going to do incredible things in terms of artificial intelligence and so on. Once we've decided that, what is the best cryptocurrency in that section? Like payments is XRP, like what, you know, smart contracts, you know, artificial intelligence, that sort of thing. You get the general idea, and then I have to do a crypto review. This, you know, is basically a trading algorithm, but the thing is it can still highlight to me what is breaking out and what's worth having a look at, okay? So if I go back here onto their platform and just go back, right, I can have a quick squeeze in terms of their in terms of the dashboard and patterns of what's breaking out. And according to this, you know, OCT US is an ascending triangle, you know, CNX, it basically gives you ideas, okay, of what's happening, right, and where things are going. And I like that very much. I think it's a really good story, and I like it very quick. There's so many different, you know, if you join my Slack, I've got a Slack channel called Cryptocurrency Tools, and there's thousands of different types of tools you can use that actually give you information about a lot of things, and they're actually free, which is fantastic, okay? So it's a really, really good story. And another one, you know, and there's the social issue one as well, okay, which is great. So if I look at, say, for example, I look at XRP technically, right? You know, and, you know, I love my technicals. I use TradeView for this, and I've got a couple of trading models here. I look at everything, guys and girls, seriously. So the first thing I'm going to look at, basically, I like the 4 hours and I like the 1 day. You know, sometimes I go back to the bigger picture, right, and look at that, and that's the bigger picture. And the bigger picture it got over there, and it's certainly pushed up, and it's in a new bull market according to this, okay? Line of support here is basically 54. It's got to hold 54 to still be in a bull market today, 0.54653, okay? If we go down to the weekly, you know, I keep looking at it, still looks like a bull to me. It's got broken up into a bull market very quickly. I have got a short-term sell on the daily, but again, it's got to hold this level here, right, at 54, 55 on the day, 54.5, 55. It's way above the 200-day moving average. I like it very much. Done a lot of volume. My main one I would go off is the 4 hours, okay? The 200-day moving average kicks in around very roughly about 44. It still looks very good to me, and that would keep me in for being long, okay? Long completely. Now, if I want to check out the shorts for XRP, I just go shorts, and it amazes me that people are still shorting this market. I cannot understand why. It is beyond me. Like with Bitcoin, there's hardly any supply, and people are going short. Now, as you can see by this on TradingView, people have been a lot shorter XRP than they used to be, okay? In time, they were much more shorter in time gone by. So way up here, they were short, for example, you know, which is, what was that, millions, good grief, 40 million, right? And down here, they haven't been so short. They're like 4 million short. And you can see with this XRP, people got squeezed out of their shorts, and now the shorts are at their lowest level. Okay, so that's a good story. If we go to Bitcoin, as far as I'm concerned, Bitcoin is just going to trade up, right? If you look at the supplies, there is no supply of Bitcoin on the exchanges at all, right? There's low supply, and you've basically got all the instos buying Bitcoin. So if we go to the 4 hours of Bitcoin, you know, that's a reversal there straight away, right? You know, if you go back down to the daily, and I do like looking at the daily, I even like looking at the monthly. Actually, let's go back to the monthly, right? And then just take it down. Okay, we had a double top here, clearly a double top. Has to break through that double top to go on with it. Now, that double top was back in June 17, and we just recently had a double top. I believe it will break through that double top. Okay, that level there, it has to get through this level here. On the monthly, 18, what is it, 18.4, oh no, it's lower, right? Bear with me. Clicking into that, 18.498 to be bullish on the monthly. But if we take it back down to, say, the weekly, right, it just gives us a bit more a closer look. The 200-day moving average kicks in at about 18.084, okay? And it's way above the 200-day moving average. If we go back to the daily, This really shows a good picture. Yes, we've got a sell here, but you know, it's got a hold really 17,568, right? And I won't be too worried about it, that's for sure, right? If I go to my 4 hours, which I look at my 4 hours as one of the main things, you know, this level here is very important. It's bounced off 17,500, and I think it should start moving up by then. If we look at the shorts of Bitcoin, you know, and I can't believe people have been short, and they have in the past, and that's what propelled Bitcoin up to 20 million, right? And you'll see it here. If we go down, we put this on a daily for the shorts of Bitcoin, right? People had to cover their shorts when this market started rallying, okay? So we saw the situation where people were short Bitcoin, 11,000 Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden the market started rallying big time, and their shorts were cut in literally a day or so. And you can see that here, right? So at the moment, people are still, according to this, 4,000 short Bitcoin, which amazes me because the market has no Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin, right? So why would you be short Bitcoin? It just seems like a dumb situation to me. I would not do that. Maybe be short for a day with trading or you know, a day or two, right? But you know, with swing trading, but the thing is, I think you're running risk of being short Bitcoin, okay? That's my view. If I look at the 4 hours on this, you know, people are trying to get more short, but I just think it's, you know, I think it's problematic. I really do, because I do believe Bitcoin will continue to rally and continue to do pretty well. That's my view. So, you know, we just have to keep an eye out. But certainly, as I said, there are a lot of cash flows coming into this market by the 15th of December. There's a lot going on. We're into a new year. More and more people are going to get into this market. I'm getting questions from friends every day. What's going on about this market and everything else, okay? So it's a seriously good story. And, you know, you just got to buy at the right levels, certainly for your investment portfolio, and worry about your liquidity, worry about your risk metrics, worry about your volatility, worry about your operational risk. All those things are important, okay? Because you want longevity in this market and you want to make money. Anyway, guys and girls and guys, I hope it's all good, and I hope you're all looking after yourself, and I will talk to you very soon. On Sunday, I have a live YouTube too if you want to join me. And I hope you all enjoyed the Merry Christmas YouTube that we sent out, okay? I really hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, guys and girls, I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you very much, Susie. Whoops, got to turn this off now.